going to the doctor. Got a new hole in my arm. Taking advantage of the crapateria. Crapateria. Them's vittles were good. You know what? I'm thinking just come to the hospital for the cafeteria food until you get sick of it, I guess. Because it's better than most lunches out there and cheaper too. I mean, really. But why am I giving a penny tour of leaving the hospital? Some people say I'm the king of trivia that nobody cares about. But what I've found is that years later, down the road, when all things change and things get demolished and built and this, people go back and they want to see things such as, the old North Kansas City Hospital. So while it's still here, might as well. And, I can't show the process of what I went through. I had a CAT scan for my gut. But I didn't know this hospital was 2 buildings, really. I just got lost in it. I had to ask for help. I got myself locked in the stairwell of all things. I had to knock on the window and be asked to be let out. It was some mystery underground passageway I found myself to, but there were, I think I walked in the wrong direction. But, this is a pretty nice hospital. I like it. This is the one we prefer to go to, and it started as a single story, almost like a rural hospital many, many years ago in the 40s and 50s, I don't know, 60s maybe. And now it's built out to a big campus. And yes, it is in North Kansas City. There's been some sort of attempt to, take it over or something. I believe it has been owned by the city itself, and then all of a sudden, there's somebody interested in buying it, a big corporation, and then the leaders of the city hall seems to have gotten stacked in recent years of people in favor of selling it, and it seems like almost all the citizens of this town are like, nope, no can do, don't do that, we don't want it. So it's been going back and forth. Who knows? I mean, I don't know anything about it. It says Emeritus all over it, so maybe it's already happened. Who knows? I don't know. We'll just keep going here until we don't like it anymore, and then we'll find another one. But, the hospital industry in this country is pretty, it's not great. Not my opinion. But I'm expressing my opinion too much, I guess. I don't know. Let's go on into North Kansas City if the lights will allow us. 9. Of course, it is rush hour. This is 210. Missouri 210 highway. I guess as long as people don't change lanes, I could go at any time if I wanted to. People are apt to change lanes, and if they don't, which they won't unless I make my move, then there's always a car coming. Wah, wah, wah. Alright, I think it's safe to go, or check that there's not that little sign that you always miss that says no right turn on red. And get all the way over, and another light. I complain a lot about lights, but the funny thing is we got into Georgia. Let me turn these lights off. We got into Georgia, and I noticed that the lights were timed very well. You waited very little at every light, and they need to apply that here. And I think it's a sign of What's the opposite of progressive? Regressive? Regressive mentality, regressive politics. Lights should not make you wait for long periods of time. And when I'm an overnighter, since I work overnights, and there are too many lights that are left on, that at the most they should be a blinking red for most intersections because there's no traffic. And quite often you're stuck at a light that will not change, and you have to turn on your flashers and go through the light, make sure it's safe and clear. And I'm sure the police don't like that, but at 3 a.m, you can't sit for 15 minutes waiting for a light to change when there's no traffic. You're the only car there. So they either need to put the lights on blinking red, which is like a 4-way stop, or something. And it's all the cities in this metro area. And like I say, we were amazed when we got into Georgia. They've done some engineering work or whatever, where the lights just, like, if there's no traffic, bing, they stop you briefly for a couple seconds and you go. And even when there is a lot of traffic, they seem to be able to get people through. Here we got traffic jams left and right because of lights. Now this was supposed to be a penny tour of North Kansas City Hospital. Now it's turned into a rant about traffic lights. Fine. But especially at rush hour, like now. And it just makes it worse. It doesn't make it better. It's not regulating anything. When I worked in Lawrence, Kansas, there was a long conversation about the lights on Castle. That's what it was. They wanted to make them timed so that it put the wait times down to a minimum. And they talked about the engineering that it takes, and the studies that they have to do, and the studies for the studies and everything. Even those studies cost millions of dollars. But they were talking about, we're going to make this investment, It's good investment because it pays off in the end. And obviously everywhere in Kansas City metro area, I don't know what they've done in the way of that kind of investment. But it seems like, especially in Kansas City, Missouri, it's horrible. And they've gone around, and their solution was to go around and remove lights, mostly from inner city areas. And when they did that, I would love to see what the study is on that, because I believe I'm a victim of that. I walked across an intersection in Westport one morning in 2018, and some guy didn't even want to stop at the light. I think he stopped, then he made a fast right-hand turn. He said he couldn't see me because of the sun in the morning. He ran over me and one of my dogs, Jimmy. And I have permanent, lifelong injuries from that. And, we talked to our lawyer about going after him. He said, well, that's sucking blood out of a turnip. You're not going to get anything, and it's just going to cost you money. So people do this kind of thing left and right. But the thing is that's one of those intersections. It's Mill Street and Westport Road. And it's one of the intersections where they removed the traffic light. And Westport is terrible because people there are there's too many jerks that come to that area. And they don't think about what they do affects everybody else around them. Here I am ranting about Westport and driving through North Kansas City. The park here, it has a little water splash park for kids, and that's turned off, obviously. Probably something that doesn't last past Labor Day. A Memorial Day to Labor Day thing. Citywide garage sale, third Saturday in May and September. It's not this weekend, it's next weekend. And here's City Hall and the police department and the municipal court and everything. It's where you pay your traffic tickets. And this guy with the bashed up front end is coming out Concentra Urgent Care. Lady with a bashed up front end. And she's about to be blocking traffic. The person in the Honda is being nice and letting her out. Anyway, I had a really good lunch. I've been having this desire, especially when the weather gets like this, to have soup and sandwiches. And I haven't found too many good soup and sandwich places, local, that won't charge you an arm and a leg. So I went to the hospital. I had a wonderful tomato bisque soup, mashed potatoes, fried chicken. I mean, it was okay, but the soup was great. Can't do too much to soup to mess it up. And yeah, nice being stuck in traffic. I don't know, this is making for very great television here. I'm just going to the end of the main street here, which is what is this street? Armour, I believe. Here's our movie theater. We watch all our movies here. Oh, wow. Saya wants to go to that. I might treat her to that, maybe on her birthday. 10/3 if it's still playing. Don't tell Saya. The Taylor Swift, The Eras, it's like a documentary. It's going to be playing there. It says 10/3. Probably only playing on that day. Here's Jefferson's over here. And Jefferson's, I don't know where they've started, but we started going to them in Lawrence. And it says over here, I don't like cheesesteaks, but pastrami cheesesteak, Reuben, Tay's cheesesteaks. I might try it to see what they have as far as soup and sandwiches. And this downtown is kind of interesting. There's quite a few little places here where bands are playing, and there's kind of a little music scene happening here in North Kansas City. Especially that place close to that theater there. There's a kind of a coffee house, bar, venue. I love this Allen Chevrolet building. Art Deco. Well, anyway, I will end this boorish rant / penny tour here at the North Kansas City sign. Woo!